I was having lunch one day at Piccolo's, and I bumped into some guys who were from Venice who told me about Bada Bing. They told me that it wasn't fancy, but these were real New York, Brooklyn guys, you know. And they said that the sauce was good and I should go down there. So a couple of days later, I headed down to Bada Bing with Joan, and we figured we would give it a try. And I was impressed. It's a family run. By Benny, you see us back there, and his sons and daughters and cousins are in there, and it's like a trip back to Brooklyn, basically. He's showing us one of the cuts of meat. I told him it looked like it came from a dinosaur, but anyway, it's filled with all kinds of stuff from The Sopranos and from Brooklyn, and then talking to them, I told them I came from Brooklyn, but of course they didn't believe me because I don't look Italian at all, and but I kind of reeled off a few facts about my going to St. Edmund's Grammar School on Avenue T and Ocean Avenue, so that kind of shut them up. But they were from the other side, over by the Marine Bay Parkway of Brooklyn. But we got to talking, and the place, I guess we went a little late because we wanted to get it kind of empty so we could use the camera without people being afraid of being photographed. You know, there's a kind of mania now that people think if they're photographed, somebody's going to come in and rob their home. I don't know how they connect their face in an Italian deli with their home. It's just crazy. But I started off with a little bit of salad, and we ordered a chicken cacciatore, which was okay, but it's not really top notch. I mean, it wasn't stewed chicken, and the girl told me that. I said, well, let me try it anyway. And he gave us these things, which are these little bread nuts that have a bowl of Parmesan cheese and butter and garlic, which are worth the price of admission alone. They give them away free with a meal, you know. I mean, you can't stop eating them, basically. If you like Parmesan cheese and garlic and butter and Italian bread that they kind of bake there themselves, you see me, fingering one now, that you have to go there. But what they do make is a very good sauce, which I always get to take home, and I always like their meatballs too. I think that they're good meatballs that remind me of all the Italian homes I visited as a kid around Avenue T in Brooklyn, where all of my classmates were basically Italian, and I was the only Irish kid, and I came from miles away at a Navy station where my dad was an officer, so I got an introduction to real good Italian cooking, and so I know when it's good, when it's great, and when it's so-so, But I'll simply go to the wall of these little nuggets of bread with Parmesan and the garlic. They're just fabulous. And the other thing that they make, well, I call them a one-shot wonder. I haven't eaten enough there to really know if it's a top-notch restaurant, but it's not really set up like a restaurant. It has really a kind of luncheonette kitchen, but this is their stromboli with their own bread that they bake, and it's stuffed with all kinds of meats and cheese and vegetables. It comes with a bowl of sauce, the gravy as they call it. Ma, give me more gravy, That's what my friends used to yell at their mother. And gravy always seems to be like brown gravy for turkey, but that's what the kids who are Italian call their sauce. They don't call it sauce, they call it gravy. And there's Joan just showing us a little inside there. That's worth the price of admission. That lasted us for 2 days after we got home. And I'm a pretty big eater, But between the little bread nuggets with the garlic and the Parmesan and this, and then the chicken cacciatore, which was okay, but this is not really a set up to be a restaurant. I suspect that all of their spaghetti dishes are extremely good because there you're dealing with the sauce, which is good, and the meatballs or the sausage. But getting anything a little more complicated, it's not really set up for that. Okay, so it's good. You go in there for a hot meal. The meals are huge, just like the stromboli, which Joan is offering me a piece of it here. That the chicken cacciatore, when it came, was also stupendous. Look at the size of it. I mean, it could feed 2 people. In fact, it did feed us for 3 more days. I ate quite a bit of it, but I prefer my chicken cacciatore stewed in the gravy, and it came with ziti, and it's just a monster dish. Because I also worked in an Italian restaurant as a busboy for 3 years when I was in high school, and it was a place called Albanise's in Eastchester, run by 5 brothers, that really cooked it the way their mom cooked it. It was real Italian, Southern Italian food. Okay, so I know the good chicken cacciatore in a good restaurant when I get it, when it's stewed in with the sauce, etc. But anyway, there's so much food here. my advice is to get the stromboli, get some gravy to take home, get some meatballs to take home. You know, you can always cook a little spaghetti yourself. You heat up the meatballs and the gravy and you pour them on top of your spaghetti. You look like a genius. That's what I'm doing here. We're taking home both the stromboli and the the chicken cacciatore because we couldn't finish it, you know, and I'm a big eater too. And then we just went home and we had a great time. I would advise going down there. It's a place you should go to. It's a little bit of a trip from Sarasota. The address is up in front in the titles, and you can you see them. Or I have also, in terms of the page itself, I have the MapQuest directions. You know, I have a page, best places to eat, and you can go there and you'll find them under new and ethnic restaurants. So I would make it down there. Here are their menus. I'm going to scan through them very, very briefly. You can see the range of things they have. I think if you stick to what I suggest and maybe some of the pasta dishes that are simple, that you're going to do fine, and you walk out extremely well fed.